Hello everyone, welcome to Not So Scale. In this video, I will be talking about the WPL 2-speed gearbox that I installed my C24-1. Let's get right into it. Now, if you watched my first video, I'll put the link in the description if you want to watch it. In the description of that video, I wrote that the stock 180 motor of this C24-1 actually broke. I said that I upgraded it to the all-metal single-speed 370, and yes, I did run that, but it broke again. So that's why I decided to go with the official 2-speed from WPL. I might upload a video regarding the single speed 370, so let me know down in the comments if you would like to see that. Here are the parts that I bought for this upgrade. First, we have the 2-speed gearbox. Next, a 30 amp ESC, a transmitter and receiver with 3 or more channels, lights, and some JST connectors. For the transmitter, I went with a Dumbo RC X6 because of its budget price and 6 channels. The transmitter also has a gyro with the proper receiver, but in this case I won't be needing a gyro, so I just went with the X6F receiver without the gyro. So here's the receiver, and I'm really surprised by how small it is. Here it is beside a 370 motor. The ESC is a 30 amp mini ESC, not a lot of features really, and it can't be programmed, but it's adequate for these little WPLs. It has a brake, but I'll be turning that off since I'm putting it on a crawler/trail truck. I needed to change the lights since the old lights could not handle the output of the new receiver. There is a way to use the old lights though by adding resistors and changing the connector, but it was much easier to just replace the lights. And I got tail lights. It's also very cheap to replace the lights. Now the JST connectors are just so I can use the old battery with the new ESC, since the ESC I will be using has a different connector. So to make this thing work, you connect your steering servo to channel 1, you connect the ESC to channel 2, and you connect your gear shift servo on channel 3 or channel 4 in my case, which is the 3 position switch. And then the lights you connect to any available channel on your receiver. Your motor is connected to the male JST connector audio or ESC. And the battery goes in the female JST connector on your ESC. So the most important thing that you get right in here is the installation of the shifting servo on the 2-speed. So you need to get the servo horn in the right position so that it can shift the gears properly. What you want to achieve here is you want it at the 90-degree position in the low gear, and you want to make it move 90 degrees counterclockwise so it faces down straight in the high gear. To mount this thing to the chassis, I just used the old screws that came with the stock motor. Okay, let's talk about the installation. The installation wasn't that smooth. Okay, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube about this, and that's what I followed. But the main problem I had was screwing the 2-speed in the chassis. Since it didn't come tapped, you have to tap it yourself. And the screws that they gave you, I don't think if it's the right screws, but they were really hard to get in those holes. Like the end of the screws are flat, and I would have preferred the pointed tapping screws to get the screw in easier. But yeah, the solution I had for this was to do is you want to tap the holes already before you put the gearbox in the chassis. Therefore, you will be able to move it easier. So what I ended up doing to make this tapping process easier was I took a small screwdriver and basically put it in the hole and spin it around. That made the hole a bit larger so the screws could go in easier. I did do some modifications to this to make it fit, and one of those was cutting the tray that's above your electronics so that it can fit the receiver and the wires of the lights. Another tip I want to give you guys is this really important, okay? Is mind the polarity. Make sure you're connecting positive to positive, negative to negative. So black to black, red to red. Red is positive, black is negative. Make sure you don't switch those things. Especially the battery, connecting that to the ESC. Don't switch it. I accidentally switched mine, and the ESC and battery and the wires connecting them became very hot. And I'm really lucky that the ESC didn't get fried and the battery is still working. So, yeah, just mind the polarity, guys. Really important. Okay, now it's all installed. Let's test this thing out. Okay, so how's my experience with this 2-speed gearbox? So far, it has been great. The torque it has in low gear is awesome. This thing just keeps on turning the wheels even when it's stuck, and it could now climb obstacles that it couldn't when it was still using the stock 180 motor. The high gear, it has decent speed for smooth terrain and getting in between trail spots. Based on the 1 week experience that I have with this thing, I'm impressed and satisfied. I can't speak yet for the durability, but I saw some reviews on YouTube, and most of them have been positive. I personally asked Liam from the Higher You Crawl, the Further You'll Fall channel, since he has a lot of experience with WPL stuff, and he said that the 2-speed has been durable and reliable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.